live for like 5 seconds. Waiting for it to start the video transmission. There it goes. Okay. Okay, it says we're live, but we're not actually live. There we go. Okay. Crap, I deleted my notes app. Alright. How is it going, everybody? And welcome to episode 6 of the 64 podcast. A weekly podcast where we talk about gaming news from the past, present, and future. Today I am joined, as always, by my lovely audience in the YouTube chat. But today, we also have a recurring guest, Fight Fighter 555, also known as Thomas. How are you doing today, Thomas?
Really good. I gotta say, it gets me every time you say, and I'm always joined here with, and I think every time you're gonna say me, but then it's like, no, he's talking about the audience.
Yeah, because you're not. Like, I think you've been here on, like, 4 out of the 6 episodes. But we've never made it official that you be here every episode.
Yeah.
So for now, you're going to be a recurring special guest until we ever decide to possibly make you a permanent one. I don't know. This isn't a time and or place to talk about that. Hello, Seeks. Welcome to the stream. Or the podcast. Whatever. It's the same thing. I haven't even thrown this in the Discord yet, actually. There we go. Now it's in the Discord. Okay. But yeah, let's start us off some good old opening topics. What games have you been playing this week, Thomas?
A lot of Minecraft. I actually, was playing through Sonic 2 for the millionth time again. And it's just like, I don't know what it is about that game, but it's just the perfect, it's weird to say perfect storm, but it's just like the music's amazing, just everything about it. Makes it one of my favorite games.
Yeah. It's like what they say, you either start with Sonic 2 or Sonic Adventure 2. It's always one of the twos. Well, if we go by that logic, then we could also count Sonic 4 Episode 2. But I don't think anyone started with Sonic 4 Episode 2. If they did, that game actually isn't that bad. I think people make that game worse than it is. But it's not as good as Mania, but that's another story. That's good. I finally played, actually. It's a game I've had on my radar for a while. I actually have had it bought for a while. And I cannot remember the name. It's like that game. It's that game where it's like the princess, but she's also a wolf, and the prince is blind, and it's like a storybook art style. And crap, I am forgetting the name of this. I've been like wanting to get it for so long, and I finally bought it. And after I finally bought it, I didn't play it for like 6 months. It was like one of those. I think me and you were actually in a call, Thomas, and I was just flipping through the eShop, and I was like, you know what? It's on sale. I'm a sucker. I'm gonna buy it. What was it? Oh, the Liar Princess and the Blind Prince. That's a pretty obvious name. Now I say it out loud because I basically said the name when I was describing the game. But I finally played the first 2 chapters of it, I think. Basically, first 2 like sets of levels. And I really enjoyed it. It has a very nice, it has that like storybook, kind of sketchy storybook art style. It's not like super clean. And it was like they actually it feels, at least I don't know if it actually had it, because I know it's an indie game, but it feels like it had a lot of budget. Like if at least they put a lot of work into it. They really made it feel like this full, like it's worth every penny you paid just from like the little intro. It kind of reminds me of like Cuphead, where I wouldn't say like it wasn't like fully animated like with cells and stuff like it did with Cuphead, but it's just had that like you could really tell they like that art style and they want to be like with that art style. And they really like it feels right out of that type of art style. And it was really cool. I've liked it so far. And maybe I don't know how I would stream the game. It's a very slow paced game, but Oh no, it's also just very story heavy. It's more, I think I would say it's like 60% story, 40% gameplay. So it'd be a lot of reading on my part, but who knows? Maybe one day I will. But for now, I want to play on my own. But as many of y'all know, I actually took a small break this past weekend from YouTube, and that's actually when I played it. I bought my Switch out while I was out and about doing various different things, and that's kind of when I took the time. I said, I want to play a game I normally don't play, and that's what I played. And I probably played for about an hour, or two. But when I had some free time. But no, it was nice. It was definitely a nice pace breaker type of game to kind of sit back and just chill out with. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I guess going on for that, we're going to jump this probably won't be too long of an episode. We don't have too many news topics. But jumping into our first news topic, we got I believe it was on Tuesday if I remember correctly, but Nintendo now has their own missions and reward system with the NSO app. Basically, we finally got Nintendo achievements. Which is kind of odd and a fun. Like it's not a bad thing. I've enjoyed it, but it's kind of interesting. We now, in a weird way, almost have achievements on the Switch. I don't know if you've messed with this at all, Thomas. Have you?
This is the first I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's on the NSO app, and it's kind of like like the it's very similarly set up how like the My Nintendo website. You had a different things you do like surveys and stuff to get coins and get like the little like post stores and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's very similar to that, except it's like I don't know if you've noticed on my Switch icon. It's like Captain Toad.
Oh, I noticed that. Is that? Ooh.
So you can basically customize different icons. So like the board on the background, it's a Cap Kingdom. It's a Cap Kingdom Bonington background that I got, and then I got the outline, which is like the Mario Odyssey, like a little Cappy logo at the bottom and white outline, and then I got that Captain Toad window. Mainly because Captain Toad looks really just like dead inside in that window. He doesn't look all like emotion. He's just sitting there, just like very emotionless. I just felt like it was very off. So I was like, yeah, that one, and I just threw it together. Funny enough, I want to say Taper God, one of the longtime viewers here, they told me on our Discord server, which you could join in with the link in the description. They told me that they had made the exact same icon for the exact same reason, which I thought was kind of funny. But basically, it's like I know this first week it was like one of them was play Super Mario Brothers on the NES app. I think one was play a game online. It's very simple stuff. It's like each week we get new profile icons and stuff. And just from the little promotional image that I have up on screen here, right now the only two games they have icons for is Odyssey and Animal Crossing. But I know here they have icons for Mario Kart, Zelda, and I believe Splatoon. Yes, it's Splatoon. So we know we're going to be at least getting 3 more games. I'm sure, when like what's the game that's coming out soon? Kirby. Like Kirby and the Forgotten Land comes out, they'll probably make icons for that. But it's a neat thing. I'll definitely say like it's kind of. It's because it uses the platinum coins that the same thing that My Nintendo stuff uses. So technically you get 1 My Nintendo coins here, and then use it to get like the physical rewards and the website. Which we didn't cover this, but they actually took away the physical rewards for about a month. I think it was around the time before starting the podcast, and they came back about a week or 2 ago, and they like restocked almost all the products. And it was like about probably a week before maybe not even a week, just a few days before they announced the missions and rewards things when they reopened up the My Nintendo stuff. So I wonder if this had a connection to that.
Maybe.
But no, I honestly think it's kind of cool. It's just some little like, hey, it's not achievements, and I know some people call them Nintendo achievements. I personally want, because like that's like geared for like each game has a set of achievements you can get. I wouldn't say it's that. But I'm not like that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. I enjoyed it, and I don't think Nintendo has to do achievements. It reminds me, I know Xbox some achievements, like I know especially in 360 era, they had a you get lots of stuff to your avatar. Like I know Sonic Unleashed had it where you get like the the egg, like you get every part of like Eggman's outfit for different achievements, like his boots, the pants, the jacket, and like the goggles and the mustache. I know Sonic Generations had like Sonic shoes. I think classic game model and I managed to know the ones with Sonic, so it's only games I really care about 100% in. But I know other games had stuff too. I want to say Portal had a little Wheatley because you could have like a pet with your Xbox avatar. Um,
Hmm.
and I think Wheatley you could have it, and whenever people click on icon, it'll say like a Wheatley quote, and you know, it was neat stuff. I actually like the Xbox avatars where they do them. Like yes, they were shameless with like me clones because they weren't with the 360 at launch. They were added after around the time the Kinect was introduced. But they definitely did it with their own style. I'll give them that. But no, I think all in all the missions and War is cool. I haven't played around with that much, but you know, it was a fun little thing. I ended up like completing like I think all the missions but play Mario Bros on the NES app just from playing on my Switch naturally.
Hmm.
So it was cool. I enjoyed it. But going on to the next topic, something I'm sure Nintendo hasn't enjoyed. So Nvidia may or may not have leaked out the a potential Nintendo Switch 2. So basically, I
Hmm.
believe this was on Wednesday, if I remember correctly. We had this big Nvidia leak that came out and happened, and one of the things that happened with that leak was a lot of stuff about a like NVD2, basically what they call the Switch, like in the code name for the Switch, with the number two on it. I think it's like a it was weird. It was like NSNVD2 something like that. But basically, it's the same code name. NX. That's what it is. It's a NX. Yeah, NX1 or just NX is this. And then the NX2 is what was in the leak. So and it's heavily, it's pretty obvious that's probably the next Switch because the Switch what's the one that just came out last year? I am blanking. Thomas, what's the Switch that they just released last year?
Um, OLED.
OLED, yes. The OLED is still considered because it's the same hardware outside, like horsepower wise, it's still an NX. Gosh, it's still a Nintendo Switch basically, and the hardware. But this one, and I know there's stuff like 4K capabilities, and I haven't looked at leaks too much personally. I just kind of just various things I've heard off of like Twitter and people talking about it. Um, but it's definitely interesting because I know before we've had stuff when Nintendo's like stuff's leaked out from Nintendo and they proceeded to cancel the project. I don't think that's going to happen with this one.
And I
because
mean, it'd be pretty hard to cancel your next console.
yeah, especially since they've been working on it since probably before the Switch was even announced, or at least ideas for it. Conceptual ideas. At this point, they probably have a fully working prototype of it ready to go. It's probably I still remember we've seen photos. So the one of the things that they had for the original like development kits for the Switch before the design was finalized, while the hardware was done, it was two Wii U's taped together, and then for like handheld mode, it was a Wii U gamepad with two Wii remotes that were like it was a modded gamepad that had two nunchuck connectors where
Oh,
you connected the Wii remote to the nunchuck connector, and it had little like things that would hold the Wii remote onto the gamepad, and then you want to take them off like Joy Cons. You could. That was like the like original development kits for the Switch were like that. We've seen photos of it. Though I feel like the development kit for the Switch 2 probably just be a Switch, and they just put different hardware in it. But it is
yeah.
interesting to think about because I don't know what you think about this, but I know now that the OLED's kind of people well, I guess still like a big thing, but I no one really talks about it too much anymore because it's time's passed and it's still selling really well, but no one in like the online space really talks about it too much. So of course, with when we have Nintendo Directs come back and rumors, people keep talking about a Switch Pro. What do you think about all that, Thomas?
Well, in terms of like just I guess the Switch 2 and Nvidia leaking it and whatnot, I I don't know. I feel very unsure about all of this because I'm not gonna say I wouldn't like a Nintendo Switch 2, and I'm not saying it wouldn't be smart to make a Nintendo Switch 2, but in all honesty, like I would I would honestly rather them try something new than make just the Switch again with some minor differences. Maybe that's just me. And trust me, I love the Nintendo Switch, but it's like it would seem like the very safe thing to do. And I want them to innovate and do like something crazy, something like the Switch again. Like when the Switch came out, it pretty much changed like the gaming space for pretty much
Like, we still
pretty
haven't even seen like the full effects that it's made because we've heard a lot of talk from like PlayStation, Xbox, and different people. That hasn't been until recently with like we've had the Steam Deck that like what came out like a week ago or something like that.
yeah.
We're just now starting to see competitors, good competitors, not people connecting cell phones to a Switch-like thing. We're just now getting proper competitors to the Switch. Though I wouldn't really say the Steam Deck's too much of a direct competitor with the Switch, but that's again another conversation for another day. But no, I will. I've seen some people say I could see this. So they've recently said again, at the latest investors meeting that we are halfway through the Switch's lifetime. And last thing they said is this time last year they said this. And they said it again this time, like now, like a year later, when we're now 5 years through the Switch, which makes me think: is the Switch going to last? Is this going to be a longer than normal console generation for Nintendo?
Well,
At least?
to be fair, I think, and I mean, games did come out in the year where everything went down, but I think that might just be them like saying we lost a year of like
True.
releasing games on time or normally, so we're just gonna add on a number of years. So yes, by all means, it probably might be longer, but just in terms of games coming out, not like it still would be the same content that we would have if it was a normal year, but it's not because we lost time.
Alrighty. Also, this quick behind the scenes thing. I just had a heart attack because for some reason it wasn't visually showing me that either of us were talking, but the viewers can hear us. I just turned on the stream real quick. I was like, "Don't tell me we've just been talking for the last like 20 minutes. The stream has just been dead." Okay, I don't know why it's not showing. I'm not going to touch anything. I'll mess with it later, but that just gave me like a heart attack.
Yeah. But in
But
terms of,
yeah, go ahead.
I kind of, and this is just another me thing, I kind of personally wish they would have done more, like a little bit more with the OLED. But in terms of like a super, like a Switch Pro or whatever, I I'm honestly happy with the Switch how it is because it's like if you put too much more into it, it's like well you might as well just put it into the new console. But again, if a Switch Pro were to come out, I of course wouldn't like not gonna like say that it's a dumb thing to do because by all means the Switch is making the money.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say maybe possibly kind of like just to like help the Switch in its final few years because it's just been so well done so well. I've started to see more people more recently say what if they like not like continue to do this poorly, but kind of similar to actually, no better comparison now actually. I was going to compare the cell phones, but I got a better comparison. So like kind of like with the Xbox One, you had the you skipping over the base Xbox One that no one buys, starting with the Xbox One S when they actually started selling. Also, hello EFC, welcome to the stream. Um, but the Xbox One S, and then after that you had the SAD, which was the all digital one, and then you had the Xbox SX, I believe or Xbox One X, I think, whatever they call. Then they basically had a beefier one, which came out about a year or two before the Series S and X, I believe, something like that. I don't exactly remember the dates, but vaguely that's what they did. It was kind of the same line of consoles, but it was like this is like the one that can handle all the more intensive games and stuff like that. I could see them. It basically, it was a Switch Pro, a 3DS XL, new 3DS, Game Boy Color, whatever you want to call it, that Nintendo's done in the past. And I could see them make. I don't think we're gonna get any new hardware. If we get any new hardware for the base Switch, like a new, like something like the OLED or the Lite or a theoretical Pro, I don't see us getting it till this is 2022, 2024.
Yeah. But even
Personally.
but even going with it, like say they did make it like a new Switch that could run like say just more intensive games, I don't really see like I because by the time they because it's like the way I'm thinking about it, if they like beefed it up to like say where now the Switch is the exact equivalent of like whatever the last PS4 was, like say it was equivalent to that.
The Switch can handle. It's at the level of the Xbox One and PS4 right now.
Oh, okay. It definitely it definitely doesn't seem like it, but in general, like I don't know, like
it's not as good as the PS4 Pro, but it's like
well, that's what I meant. Not PS4, but PS4 Pro. What came out after
weird.
the PS4?
Yeah, because it's in between the PS4 and PS4 Pro. It's like halfway.
But like, say it's at the same level of the PS4 Pro. The most that the Switch would get out of that is just ports of games. And ports of games do well on the Switch, but it's like I don't see the whole point of like making a beefier Switch, but not beefier enough to where it's like okay, the new games can come out on it. Like, say
like the new 3DS.
Yeah.
Well, the only two games I know off the top of my head that require that. No, okay, three games. Xenoblade Chronicles, which is a big one because people like really Nintendo, you're sending Xenoblade Chronicles to die again. Minecraft, I believe, if I'm correct.
Yes.
And Fire Emblem, the one made by Koei Tecmo. That's most of them. Warriors. They bought Warriors of 3DS, like they did with the Force Hyrule Warriors, for whatever reason. And Hyrule Warriors 3DS. Sorry. Fire Emblem Warriors 3DS.
Yeah.
I feel like some other game did as well that was a bit bigger than those. But I think the biggest one, I remember I launched with Xenoblade Chronicles, and no, not Minecraft, because new 3DS came out in 2016, maybe 2015. I'm not exactly sure on the years, but I know it definitely was before the Switch was out. I know that much. Though they supported it throughout the Switch's life a bit. But no, yeah, I definitely like I said, I'm honestly okay with where the Switch is at. I will like 5 more years. Like let's just go based on the thing. Okay, the Switch will last 5 more years, and we get the new console. Let's just say that 11th year. Theoretically speaking here, because they'll talk about 5 full years where the Switch will be fully supported as like the primary console, not like how I would use the Wii U as an example. That would work. They use a 3DS kind of example, though that's a little weird because handheld console. But the 3DS they kept supporting up till I believe 2019, if I'm correct. Yep. And but they didn't. That wasn't there. They were supported, but it wasn't like the primarily supported console. They were saying that the next 5 years, the Switch will be the primary supported console. And I almost I wonder yes, I do think the Switch, because if it was 8 years we were originally thinking, what we originally thought, that seemed 3 more years after, basically, because we're now in the 6th year of the Switch now. We're now entering year 6. We are in year 6. So it's this year and then 2 more years. That's 8. I thought that in 2 more years, I definitely think, and we're definitely seeing them continue to push the Nintendo Switch hardware further and further. We've seen we've seen them keep pushing the Switch to higher, grounds. We see how massive games like Kirby the Forgotten Land and Buffalo. I can't really see too much about Buffalo 2. I haven't seen too much of that really outside of basic glorified cutscenes. But Kirby the Forgotten Land, have been able to play with for the demo. That has such a, though it's linear, you can has such a scope. and then also games like God, what is the I am blanking. Pokemon Legends Arceus. You can see that's pretty well done, and they could definitely, there's some things with that technically you may be able to point at. But then I look at the trailer for Scarlet and Violet, which does look a bit rough in some places, but it's the place that looks rough is more. It's like how Legends Arceus looked kind of rough when we first saw it a year back, where it was like some of the animations were kind of choppy and stuff. That's because it's still early in development. But one thing I immediately noticed with Scarlet and Violet was the draw distance. And no, I don't think the draw distance is horrible. I don't even think it's bad. I think it's actually pretty good in Legends Arceus. I'm not going to lie and say that I know the Switch can do better draw distance wise. I know it can do a lot better. That's, it did a lot better with Breath of the Wild. But, I know discussion for another time, but you always see from them going the first time Pokemon Company did an open world game to the second one, you can see that like, wow, like they are really able to push it this far, and that trailer or the gameplay was one at 60 frames per second. Legends Arceus one's at 30 frames per second, so the game is literally one at double the speed, and it wasn't a sometimes they'll upscale the video, but you can tell they didn't upscale the video. There was the gameplay that's actually 160 frames per second, and it was like, now possibly that's not what the game's going to end up being. They may back down to 30 frames, which if that's that's what they need to do for performance, I'm okay with that. Of course, you really don't tell that much of difference, but when it's one that literally double the frame rate, that is very impressive to see them be able to take such a leap. So like I definitely think, while I will question it a little bit, I definitely do think the Switch could definitely last another 5 years. Though I do think maybe I think we'll definitely by year 8 we're going to start seeing, like, we've always started seeing a little bit of age for the Switch, not that much. It's mainly been people like me who's been with it since the beginning. But even then, like, though I do feel a bit of age with the Switch, I'm still especially this year, it really feels like we're going to get this year's the start of that big second wave for the Switch. It feels like, well, a lot of people have been saying 2017 part 2, basically. And it's really kind of like, I wouldn't say I was getting tired of the Switch last year, but I definitely know a few times feeling like, yeah, like, the console is definitely starting to feel a bit aged, and like, not that like I feel like it's like dead in the water last year or anywhere close to that, but I definitely felt like, yeah, like, I could see them starting to wind it down in the next couple of years. But now I'm like, okay, they're not planning to stop anytime soon. They're going to keep pushing, and as long as they keep building upon that, like, I think they can run it for 5 more years. Also, I'm going to interrupt you real quick to say hello to Layla in the chat. Hello, welcome to the stream, and welcome to the 5 people who are watching, and big shout out to the 6 people who like the stream. Okay, sorry about that. I was
no, it's fine, but
you go ahead.
But I guess the way I see it with like the Switch and everything, and it's like, think about the Wii. Like, when did the Wii come out? Like 2006?
I think it's 7, but
2006, 7.
Around that time, yes.
Around that time, and it like lasted how long? Like,
yeah, like it got pretty big. I would say it kept getting major support from at least like third parties, not counting Ubisoft or Just Dance. I would say it probably lasted about as long as the 3DS's break to the Wii U's life, if not a bit longer, probably. Because let me think. Wii U came out 2012, late 20, like holiday 2012. So basically, 2013 was its first full year. I think the Wii they haven't. It still isn't. They still haven't officially discontinued the Wii. I know that much.
And that's like kind of my point, where it's like, the Wii was like very appealing to like the casual audience of the side, and I think where it's like, say like in the next like 5 years of the Nintendo Switch, even if like the Nintendo fans aren't as engaged anymore, they can always appeal to that casual side who's not necessarily going to care about like how the specs of the Switch or anything. as long as they keep up good content, like good games and like interesting
Like we
stuff.
have Nintendo Switch Sports coming out this what is that, March? Is it March or April?
Mm-hmm.
Sometime.
I think it's April, but in
Yeah.
general, it's like, and
Anyway.
I'm personally one of I believe because I'm like I care a little bit about like specs and stuff. Like I don't want a game to run terribly, but it's not my 100% like it's not my main priority when it comes to games. It's like as long as the game, like its story and gameplay is good, like if Nintendo keeps releasing games that are consistently good in those departments, I could easily see them like going the next 5 years with
Yeah,
the Switch.
I think I could definitely agree with that. So that's why I was playing the Pokemon comparison earlier. You see that they're still able to, like, they're still blowing us away with what they're showing us. I know a lot of people. I remember seeing a lot of people being like, "Wow!" Specifically the shot we got of Magnemite and the Scarlet and Violet trailer, and then people comparing it to because the light in that scene was really nice with the sunset. So probably looked a lot better than it really is going to look like just in general because you got that trailer shot. But I remember people comparing that to like the one in Legends Arceus. It's like, wow, looks like Magnemite got a makeover. Like
Hmm.
this being funny. But it really shows they are continuing to push this hardware, and that's a big thing for me. I do keep the gameplay up. Like a game like Nintendo Switch Sports, that ain't no revolutionary graphic. Well, I'm not. It doesn't look. I think it looks really good. Don't get me wrong. I actually do think graphically it looks very impressive. But it ain't no. You don't see no jaw dropping sunset and all these people running away. It ain't this big. And it doesn't have. It's a $40 game. That alone. But even with $60, it's a family party game. I'm okay with that. Same thing with games like like some of the Mario sports, stuff like that. Like, do I wanted to be? Would I love to have like a game like Mario Kart 8? That game is way more gorgeous than it needs to be by a long shot. That Mario Kart 8 is probably one of the best looking games on the Wii U, and arguably one of the best looking games on Switch. Though there's probably some that are a bit better looking on Switch. Um, it's a Wii U game, but I remember playing that game on my Wii U and being just utterly shocked on how amazing that looked. That's I wouldn't mind all the spells looking like that, but I'm also okay with that. But I definitely will say as long as as long as they're able to keep pushing the hardware, really pushing it to its like limits, and you see they're putting the effort in, the gameplay and all that stuff. And again, not like when you look at Kirby Forgotten Land, that game looks amazing, but it also isn't no It goes with its own graphical art style. I know we're going to talk about that here actually. I believe that should be the next news topic. But that new demo, it's like it ain't no Breath of the Wild or anything, but it has its own art style, it's a Kirby art style, and it does it really well. It reminds me a lot of if anyone's played the demo or watched me play my stream a couple nights ago, when Kirby's going through the forest at the very beginning, it reminded me a lot of in Brilliant Diamond, one of the forests you go through in the beginning with like the green hair lady. I forgot her name, but the green hair lady. And I remember going through that forest in that game thinking, wow, the shadows and the lighting are really nice in this forest. Even though like it was like the chibi art style, it's not the most like over like detailed art style, but it looked really nice. I remember when I saw that forest in Kirby Forgotten Land, I had the exact same like I flashed back. I had like deja vu to that forest. Like, wow, this looks really good.
Hmm.
But yeah. Also, hello, Umbreon. Welcome to the stream. Oh, and today Umbreon got Breath of the Wild today. Well, you got a lot of work ahead of you then.
Yeah,
uh,
trust me, Umbreon. It is very worth it to get every single Korok seed. And I'm not going to tell you how many there are, but there's a lot of them.
yeah.
And when
But
you get all of them, you're going to be so happy with
it
the
is.
result.
Thomas did it twice, once on the Wii U, once on the Switch.
Yeah, I did. It was just that fun.
Didn't he beat the game on Wii U and Switch? Oh,
Yes,
legit. Okay,
actually.
I couldn't actually remember if you did. I knew you beat it on Switch. I couldn't remember you beat it on Wii U. I knew that's the first time he got it, so I was like, he probably did. Um, oh, this is Thomas, not John. Is this me and Thomas tonight?
Yep.
John normally joins us on Wednesdays, but maybe we'll have to get him on the podcast eventually. I want to get him on here when it's like a topic some topics that like I know he'll be able to give a good conversation to. Yeah, like John is into video games and stuff like that, but he definitely isn't as deep into the news as me and Thomas are.
Yeah.
Which is why it's the super main reason why I think we've talked about one of Minecraft episodes or streams before, like, I don't want to bring him in here with, like, talk about the Nvidia leak and stuff, and talk about, like, just random stuff like that. You know Eventually we'll probably get me on stuff that's good. But yeah, oh, and Umbreon says hello, Thomas.
Hi, Embryo.
And they are your second. You are their second favorite person.
Oh,
That's
really?
according
That.
to when we in that, or they meant John was their second favorite person, but
Oh.
because we could read it as or John my second favorite person, or my second favorite person Thomas. I read it as the latter, but you never know. I don't know. You can correct us in the chat, if we're right or wrong. But I guess I feel we talked about we had a lot of time about it. That was really good. But unless do you have anything else you want to add to the whole, I guess, Nvidia Switch 2, Switch Pro, whatever we want to call it, ordeal?
It sounds like Nintendo's gonna leave Nvidia for a couple of years again, like they did with the 64. If they keep this up.
Probably, honestly. Alright. Also, I'm going to verify. Yes, Thomas is your second favorite.
Oh, don't! You're making me blush.
Yeah. It's a good thing John ain't here.
He doesn't need to know.
Yeah. That's where he just pops up in the chat. But anyhow, going on to our next news topic, we talked about it a little bit earlier. The good old pink puffball himself, Kirby. March 25th, we're going to begin the brand new Kirby in the Forgotten Land. Kirby's first 3D adventure in a mysterious Forgotten Land. And we recently got a free demo, which you can install now onto your Switch from the eShop. I'm so excited for this game. I feel like I just said the script for one of the trailers. Um, but yeah. Basically, she's basically a demo release. Was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday. Yeah, because I remember rushing to do that stream real quick. Before I had to get ready for my little vacation that day. I remember rushing to get that stream out real quick because I really wanted to play it. But yeah, that was There's really not too much news wise, but it came out. We did get another trailer, which didn't really reveal too much. I actually didn't watch it, the new one, because I was like, I pretty much know what this game has in store. I'm okay. The only thing I know that new trailer gave us is it did confirm that guy, the cloaked guy we saw at the end of the direct trailer, is DDD, which we were pretty sure on, but it's now like 100% confirmed that is King DDD. Because I saw a bunch of photos on Twitter, I wasn't able to escape that. Though he does have it. Definitely has a more. I saw a bunch of people putting like it was like him, like the mangled up Ganon from like the initial Breath of the Wild teaser, Breath of the Wild 2 teaser, when he's like a mummy looking thing, and then Fury Bowser, and the tweet just, Nintendo, what are you doing to all your bad guys? Just make them all super serious.
It's like Brawl.
Yeah, it's Brawler. You're right, actually, yeah, because those were like the three main bad guys. It's like DDD, well, like that were fighters, I guess. It was DDD, Ganon, and Bowser. I thought, huh. But anyhow, I want to talk about the demo a bit, of course. Though if y'all watch my stream, which I actually did really good, I like give y'all a big shout out to everyone who watched, liked, and supported that stream. It did very well, especially after I stream and post with the video upload. But I want to get Thomas's thoughts. What do you think about the demo? Also, bye Beyond, have a good one. But what do you think about the demo?
Bye, Umbreon. I think it's really it makes me want to play the game, so it's a good demo. But I think it's just the perfect amount of like it gives you a taste of what the game is like, but I still want to play the game because like I've played like a couple of demos where it's like you pretty much played like the game,
Uh-huh.
and it's like it's not enough, and it's like this doesn't really sway my opinion either way. But also, it's just games these days just don't have demos in general, and I always go make an effort to try and play it if there is a demo, and so it's like yeah. But no, I thought it was real solid, and it makes me excited for the game.
Yeah, how far did you get to the
I
demo?
actually beat it.
Oh, okay, so you got all the way to the Goemon boss fight.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Did you 100% the demo?
No.
There's do you plan to?
Maybe. See how
Yeah.
bored I get.
Yeah, there's a little. It's not too hard. There's a little surprise you get if you 100%. It's actually really nice.
Mm.
It's a fun little thing. So I guess I'll leave that. Well, you just Google it. But no, it's a fun little surprise. I recommend y'all go out and y'all try the demo yourselves. It's a lot of fun. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I did literally everything. I even did it Sakurai style and broke out 2 Pro controllers because my Joy Cons were actually already packed up in my bag, so I had to use my Pro controllers, and I sat there and just played with both controllers on like the desk, and just playing as Bandana Waddle Dee and Kirby at the same time, just seeing how it all worked. Just having a grand old time, and it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it actually. But just in general, I enjoyed it. I played through the whole thing initially as Kirby, and I played through the second level, basically at the first the real level, I guess, in the game. I have a feeling that the first level is in the the demo is definitely the first level of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because it picks it out of the cutscene. But we do know that because we've seen the thing is we've seen the world map. It's like a big 3D space. It's very similar to Star Allies world map. But I guess they just didn't show it for the demo. But the we actually know I think it's like the downtown tunnel or whatever the second level you play is. We've seen like where that is on the world map, and it's like halfway through World 1. And I want to say World 1 had about 6 levels, if I remember correctly, maybe 8. So yeah, that's just kind of something interesting I saw. And then the Goemon boss fight is the last part of like the grown over city area. And we also yeah there's not too much about them I can really think too much. I want to talk about. Oh, actually no, never mind. So I don't know if you know this, Thomas, but during the opening cutscene, we actually saw that the portal Kirby went through like a star portal, very similar from the ones from Return to Dreamland. But you've not played that game, so you actually know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And when he went through that portal, it was like it was the another dimension, which we don't actually know the name of that, but basically a little dimension went through when you fight Magalore and all that. The another dimension, which is what they call it. And it was like the exact same background and everything. And I know it's had a lot of fans, including myself, speculating on the ever expanding Kirby lore, of course, of what does this mean and yada yada yada. But I'm curious, what do you think about all of this?
I think that's really cool. I pers Magalore's probably my favorite like Kirby villain that's actually a villain. Sorry, King DDD, you're not a you're I don't really see you as a villain anymore because I see you as a hero in my eyes.
All I could think is this freaking DDD from the anime.
Uh,
Like
but
game
but
DD, I
no,
agree, but yeah, but go
but
ahead.
Magalore is definitely one of my favorite characters. So even if it's not Magalore, it'd be cool to like just expand the ever going Kirby lore, but also please just spare some Magalore.
Yeah, I don't know. Might be kind of cool they brought Magalore back, but
Maybe just like an offhand where it's like just Magalore and like say like Marks just sitting at like a
just
table
yeah.
in
But they're now
space.
both good guys, so Star Allies can Star Allies basically brought back all the bad guys, and Corby's like, yeah,
Alright.
you're now all friends, and it's like okay, but including Mox, who should be dead, but he's not. Um, It's Star. I can't wait for Star Alice when they really started breaking out. Because that was like as they put it, the end of an era, which I guess the first era was like freaking 25 years long, but yeah, which God, it's crazy to think back then when it's like, yeah, the next game's probably gonna be a 3D Kirby game, like, but we don't know. It's how long they've been doing 2D, and it actually happened. I still wish I did I was able to react to the September direct that we got last year, because I know it was me, you, and Lucas. We all watched it together, and I don't think I've ever freaked out more than at that
I don't
Nintendo
think I've
direct.
screamed Sega louder than I had before either.
Yeah, God, I literally had a headache afterwards. I think I told you that. I think after we finished watching the direct, I think I literally I'm like, guys, give me like 5 minutes. I'm gonna go get drink like 2 gallons of water. I remember
I
that
do
was
remember that.
because I screamed at Corby, Chris Pratt. 'Cause that's where we got the Mario stuff. Like basically every actor reveal. Bayonetta 3. Because I called it and no one believed me that we would finally get it. I was right. And what was
Well,
it?
it's not that I didn't believe you, I just didn't care.
Oh no, I'm talking about Twitter.
Oh,
I don't even think if I don't remember if I told you. Not that I know you don't. I know you don't. You would not have an opinion on the Bayonetta
at
series
least not
either.
really now.
Yeah, eventually I'll get you to play this. I haven't even beaten the first one, so I can't talk too much. But that was when I was first playing the first one, and I'll be like, you know what? We're gonna get the third one. It's gonna be here. Um, there was some other. What was the other? There was some other announcement there that I was like freaked
The
out.
64 on Switch.
Maybe that was. I feel there was another thing that wasn't that, but like I figured out that one too, but I don't know. But yeah. Also JSG, hello, welcome, and they said love the movement in this game. I was really surprised on how well the card control. Yes, the
Oh
car
yeah,
mouth
it's
mode.
very smooth.
That was jeez, yeah, just I literally sat there and just ran in circles, but also I didn't do this. It's like the one thing to do in the demo, but at the very beginning of the beach, you can go in the water and Corby has his little floaty.
Oh, I did that actually. It's really cute.
Did you? I did. You can do a little. I saw you can guard in a game, so you can do like a little dodge roll. You can do that in there. When he does that, he does like a little synchronized swimming twirls. Like he'll twirl. Put his hands up in the air. I did the thing with my hands, and I did the little twirl. But I'm like, y'all can't see me.
Well, I was using Ice Kirby when I defeated the final boss of the demo, and every time he would jump and he would ice skate and jump and do the little jump
Twirl.
twirl that ice skaters do, and maybe that's been in other Kirby games, but it was like,
I
oh, that's cute.
I'm pretty sure. I know that. Honestly, I can't. I definitely know it's in Star Allies, and I know the skating thing's always been a thing. Cause I got it's an adventure actually. But
Yeah,
I specifically remember when we did it when we streamed Return to Dreamland about a month back now. Maybe 3 weeks ago. Maybe it has been a month. Actually no, it's getting. It hasn't been a month, but it's getting close. Anyhow, doesn't matter. But when we did that, but I can't remember if he has a tour. I know Star Allies he definitely did, but yeah, but you haven't played that. But you will eventually. Probably this. Hopefully the plan is to stream Star Allies sometime this month, but
yep.
March is a busy month for all of us, unfortunately. But yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I say the car ran very smoothly. Just in general, the game ran very smoothly. I don't think I ever had any. I did try to see if I can stress test the game out of curiosity, which I normally don't do. But I was just having so much fun just thinking what can I do, and I was like, let me see if I can break the game. I was just like, let me see do I see the frame drop, and I never saw any frame drops. I was sitting there. I used the ice ability because that makes a bunch of particles, and I went to what in the Gory Mono boss fight, and I went to the other place in the area that would have a lot of enemies and particle effects. Spoiling particle effects are what kill games, and the game never dropped. At least if it did, it was so minuscule I couldn't notice it. And not that I'm the best at noticing frame rates, but I definitely
Yeah, and
do.
I think I said it before the stream, but the game looks so beautiful.
It does. I know. I played it. Did you play it? You played it in handheld mode, didn't you?
Yep,
What did it look like in handheld mode? I didn't play in handheld mode.
beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, I guess
it
you just said it. Yeah. But did it run well and all that? I guess. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, At the end of the day, I think it's gonna run about the same, even if it's on a TV or not. I think it just is the main difference is in the
Yeah.
looks.
Well,
Although I could be
I know
wrong.
sometimes a lot of games they make it 30 frames on the handheld mode. I think it's because it's also powering like the screen.
Uh,
I know a lot of games do 30. I mean, if it does handle mode, that's not that big of a dip. Like 30, as long as the game's the big thing is not that if it's one in 30 or 60, it's more just kind of impressive if the game's one in 60 because that's double the horsepower. But it's the big thing for me is if it's a stable frame rate, not that if it's 60 or, geez, now we're starting to get to the point where some games are 120, which
dang.
I cannot tell. It's just like going from HD to 4K. I cannot tell the difference at all. And I do video editing, not for a living, but I may as well do it for a living. How much I do it, like I notice video quality pretty easily. But that's why I like the OLED screen so much because it's not to get the bit of a sidebar. You don't want to go into too much, but the me with the OLED screens, it's like I've looked like the Switch OLED screen's a 720p screen, and I think that looks way better than any 4K TV. This laptop I'm using, I'm streaming on, has a 4K screen, and I think the Switch OLED screen looks way better than that just because it's just so much more vibrant and colorful. It really pops at you, and I really like that. But when I eventually get an OLED in a year like 2028, we'll talk about it more then. But okay, Castle, welcome to the stream. It's been a while since I've seen you around. So welcome. Somebody once told me we don't talk about Kirby. I was sure. I was sure that Kirby was a gumball. Oh, oh, poor Kirby. I feel like there was an episode in an anime where Kirby was like chewed like a gumball. That sounds like something the anime would have done at one point.
Yeah.
And that's I would love to make a video series on the anime, like watching like I don't know like 10 episodes at a time, or maybe only 5. Or just it was broken up into 4 seasons of 25 each, so maybe watch like a season each at a time. Just sitting here like a discussion like for like just talking about because that like it's not bad. It's probably one of the best TV shows based on a video game period out there. But it has a lot of crazy moments in it. Um, I I just flash back to the moment in anime where this is a massive meteor about to destroy the planet, and DDD's like, "I'm gonna do one act of kindness before I die." And that moment where he's swinging on the swing set with Kirby, he's just crying, and Kirby's happy, and DDD's crying, and I'm crying because I just so sad. But anyhow, my emotions aside, that I won't be crying when I get this game in my hands. I was at a GameStop today, and they had a whole bunch of display cases of Forgotten Land, and I was just like, I want to buy that. Like I literally I grabbed the box, I looked at cause like the box art, and I was just like, should I buy this? And I'm like, wait, I can't own this yet, and I already pre-ordered it. But I literally sat there for a second, like almost like not I didn't was like at the counter, but I just sit there for a second. I was like, should I buy this? Like, no. They had a buy two get one free sale though, so I got a bunch of cheap Switch games. So that was nice. Cheap in price, not in quality. Well, one of them may be in quality. I don't know anything about it, but that's a story for another day. Because our story for now, which is our final news story, so this is kind of a small one, but recently, this actually the update came out yesterday for this. Also Kid Castle. Monday is Mario Kart, which is actually we're about to talk about Mario Kart Tour actually. But tomorrow's Mario Kart for Mondays. Tuesdays are Variety Day. I actually don't know what we're going to be doing this Variety Day. I haven't decided yet. But we're gonna do Variety Day this Tuesday. Wednesday will be Minecraft, and Thursday will also be Minecraft. So yeah, Minecraft won't be till Wednesday. That's the next one. But anyhow, Mii's have been recently announced and released for Mario Kart Tour, which a lot of people made a big deal about. I love the Mii's. Honestly, I didn't even know that they weren't in Mario Kart Tour already. But yeah, it's just kind of a nice little thing. And they're actually bringing they're making a lot of new me costumes. Like, they have like some of the costumes which the window I have here is actually for Mario Kart 8 because I couldn't find the photo that they had for Mario Kart Tour, so I just took the one for Mario Kart 8. But they're doing them in like waves. They're doing the first wave, which is all the ones from 8, along with like 2 new ones, and they're doing a whole bunch of new costumes. Like, I know there's like a Rosalina one, and this is a whole bunch of different me costumes. It's kind of neat. Kind of reminds me more of like the Smash me fighters, like how they did the costumes there with the different outfits. But what do you think about this, Thomas?
Well, I think it's cool. Like, keep using the Mii's, Nintendo. Don't let them die. I know for a while there was a time where we really weren't sure if Mii's were gonna, Nintendo seemed like they were slowly phasing out Mii's, but sure enough, they're still alive and kicking today.
I remember thinking like the Mii's are the last console for this, on the last the Switch is the last console for the Mii's, and now like, do think it's still a possibility. I don't. It's weird. It's like I feel like almost every time Nintendo's like, "Oh yeah, we'll bring back Mii's," and then they do something. Like, why don't you have the Mii's here? And they kind of like I think we're definitely in the more established than they were back like let's say like 2018, 2019. But we're still a little back and forth on it. I don't know. Miitopia definitely brought a big surge into. I feel like that's probably why we're getting Mii's and Mario Kart Tours because of Miitopia. How it just exploded. At least like I don't know how well it did in sales actually. Miitopia. I think I remember it doing well, but I don't know exact numbers. I wasn't following it that much. But I do know like Miitopia, the online presence of that game was big. Like it had like when the demo came out, it was huge because like people weren't even playing the demo; they were just making different Mii's. Because expanded what you could do with Mii's. Because you could like make your Mii, and then there's a whole bunch of more customization you had in the game itself that like really opened up what you could do with Mii's. I remember it being very impressive. Some people did. And then when the game actually came out, it was like a big talk for like another like week or two, like way longer than you normally have. People talk about a game as a relatively smaller game like Miitopia, which was kind of cool to see. Because I really like the idea concept behind Miitopia. It reminds me a lot of like a game like the Oregon Trail when you like like you name all your friends and you go on this adventure and you see who dies and who doesn't and stuff like that. So I want to play Miitopia. I want to like play Miitopia, but like get like maybe I'll do something like I name get some of my friends, maybe get some of y'all viewers to like be some of the characters because there's a like you don't have to, you can just use random Mii's. But I want to say, like, literally every NBC in every town, basically everything you can name and make it to its own Mii. And it's like hundreds and hundreds of characters, theoretically, that you can do. But, I definitely want to pick up one day. I feel like I'm going to end up picking up, logistically, I'll probably end up picking up this Black Friday, which is, I know it's crazy we'd be talking about Black Friday this year when it's only the beginning of March, but realistically, seeing how many games come out this year, I think November is going to be one of the lighter This is going to be one of the lighter Novembers this year.
And that's saying something.
Yeah, honestly, all I know though, Nintendo's just going to be like, you know what, Breath of the Wild 2 and Mario Odyssey 2, both in November. It's the apocalypse. We don't care.
Why would you say Mario Odyssey 2 when there's a perfectly good Pokemon game that is almost certainly coming out in November?
Well, I'm thinking like Prime, Nintendo, First Prime Nintendo. That's what I was thinking.
I'm sorry, Pokemon in my eyes will always be a primary Nintendo, even though if it's not specifically, because they make plenty of money off of it. They probably make more money off of Pokemon than they do like
Zelda. I would say I definitely know Mario makes more because like Mario, at least that Nintendo makes from Pokemon. In general, Pokemon makes more than Mario, but I know Mario is like what's it under? I think it's like Pokemon's the second biggest. No, that's not right. It's somewhere. It's somewhere really high up, and then Mario's like 3 places behind wherever Pokemon is, and it's actually pretty cool. I know like Pokemon's in the Force or second, and the other one it's in the Force is second. It's like right on it, and there's a good like 100, 200 million or $1 billion gap, and then you have everything else that's like then you have like Mario and Hello Kitty, and then like everything else is all just jammed at the bottom, like just all the like biggest media franchises. I saw a chart of it that was like updated very recently that showed it on. I was shocked to see the Super Mario franchise like one like the top 5 biggest franchises of all time, like profits wise. I did not realize how much money Mario made. Like to the point where it was bigger than like, like McDonald's and stuff. Like, that's just crazy to think about. But I don't know, like especially. Oh no, I go and see my Mario is never getting close to becoming a bit even bigger like multimedia franchise. Like if the movie does well and stuff like that, that could really kick things off. We see how well it's going for Sonic. Like how much merchandise and promotional stuff's going on with Sonic. It's possible that can come with Mario, but that'll be a podcast discussion for next week when we get our Mario trailer on Mario Day, because that everyone's claiming we're going to get the first trailer on Mario Day. I don't think we are. It's the movie. It doesn't come out for another 9 months. People, I'm sorry. I can see a teaser. I think a teaser's perfectly legit. It's like a good maybe 30-second, 1-minute teaser. I can see it like that. I don't see us getting this full blown out trailer though. I don't think we're going to get at E3. Well, okay, E3 actually no, we may get at E3 because I'm not even getting an E3 this year. So Nintendo someone the direct, I could see that, but I just don't. I don't know. That's again discussion. Like I said, maybe we'll probably end up talking about that whether it happens or not next week. Actually, no seriousness. If we get a Mario trailer, to be honest, we're going to be bringing back the breaking news segment of the 64 podcast. I don't know if we could wait a couple of days to talk about that. Cause when is Mario Day? I know it's like the 10th, but it's this Thursday. Oh boy, God, yeah. If we get a Mario movie announcement, I'm just gonna come to your house and just bust down your door, like Thomas. It's a trailer. We gotta talk about it.
You want to know what would be really funny?
Chris Pratt.
If the day before the Sonic movie comes out,
God,
they release the Mario movie trailer, and it's just Sonic is just dead in the water.
Jeez, God, I'm trying to think.
All that advertising built up, and it's just dead. God, that would be hilarious.
Thing is, like if it was like a full-on trailer, I still think financially the Sonic movie would be fine. But
no, I think it would be fine, but just in general of like
that day before, a lot of people are gonna be. But I think that Friday, if Friday, people will be. Now the Mario movie came out the day before. I still think the Sonic movie do well, but I would be concerned. I can say that much. God, now I'm getting flashbacks to when Mario Odyssey came out 2 weeks before Sonic Forces. And I'm not saying which game was better than the other, but one of them may have been better than the other. But God, I still remember watching the Sonic, like the official Sonic the Hedgehog live stream, and when they were talking, talking about the release. They've been building up the release for Forces for like a while now. Jeez, I can't believe that the live streams are now over 5 years old. Cause they started those in 2017, the year of Forces. But they were they're building up Forces that whole year. The live streams they did every other week. And I remember them bringing up, there's a sort of Italian plumber that also has a game coming out soon. And all we're saying is, please don't destroy us. Well, I don't think they said directly that, but they were like, it was kind of fun. I almost feel like Aaron Webber knew what the bigger game was. Unfortunately, he was just like, oh boy. But, but on that note, we are going to go ahead and wrap up today's episode of the 64 podcast. I hope you all enjoyed this. If y'all did, hit over like. Big shout out to the 7 people who liked the stream. Greatly appreciate as always. If you have something to say, throw in the comments. We talked about the Nintendo missions, and the Nvidia Leak, the Kirby demo, and the Mii's and just in general. Whole lot of Nintendo stuff. I think it's the first episode of the podcast where it's been solely Nintendo content. I was going to throw in the Street Fighter 6 logo from 2 weeks ago, but then I was like, all we're going to do is talk about how bad it is and then move on. So I admitted it, but yeah, no, now I definitely do I don't feel like the news has been dead recently, but it's definitely slowed down a bit as of late. And
Mm-hmm.
I from all three big companies and a lot of third parties, and I feel like it's going to be that thing like one person's going to shoot and everyone else is going to just be like, oh crap, we gotta go, and everyone else is going to start shooting. I feel like March it's going to be like a lot. It's going to be kind of quiet, but we're going to get a few good game releases. But in April, it's going to start jumping up again. It's going to be like, especially for Sonic fans. That's I feel like that's the main reason why I haven't realized. I've only realized how like we haven't getting a lot of news because of the podcast. Because I feel like we're constantly getting news of the Sonic movie, and there's been a lot of Sonic Prime rumors coming up again, and that's a whole nother thing. That's what it was. Wasn't it something Sonic related happened the day before Mario died last year? I think it was the Sonic Prime announcement. If I'm
Sounds about right.
I think that's what it was. I remember when you brought up Mario coming up before Sonic, like something happened like that last time. Because I remember having a day playing like a mail. I did some videos, not like specific like Mario's dead videos, just Mario videos in general. Just because I was like, you know what, yeah, let's celebrate Mario's death by playing some of his games. Um, but that was more just the end of the Mario 35th thing. I thought it was funny, but I wasn't like, yep, a total funeral for Mario. Though it was kind of funny. Um, but anyhow, I kind of sidebar there for a little bit, but hope you all enjoyed this. You know, subscribe, comment, like, all that good stuff. Thank you to all the lovely people we had in the chat join us. We had Kit Castle, Beyond Seeks was there for a bit. We had Layla, EFC, and JSG. Thank you all so very much for being here and chatting with us. And of course, last but most certainly not least, thank you to myself. I'm just kidding. Thank you, Thomas, for joining me as always. It's always a pleasure to have you here, and I'm sure we'll probably have you back next week. Maybe I don't. You never know. Probably sometime in the future, though. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
uh, this just shows how bad I am at doing outros. Um, anyhow, though, thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, and we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Good night.